channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to take this plain wreath and turn it into this, the farmhouse wreath of your dreams.
Alright guys, let's grab our supplies. The first thing you're going to need is a wreath form. The wreath form I'm using today can actually be used by itself. Last year, I just put this black and white ribbon on it for a super minimalist look. This year, my front porch is leaning more farmhouse and rustic, so I looked for a wreath in all the stores, but I couldn't find anything I love, so I just decided to do it myself and spruce this one up a bit. You can get a form like this for around $8 at Michael's. The next thing you'll need are some greenery picks or sprays that'll be the meat of your wreath. I chose some sparkly eucalyptus, some evergreen branches with blue colored berries, and some tiny glittery pine cones. This is where you can make your wreath super custom and fine tune it to exactly what you like, what your style is, and what the rest of your decor looks like in that space. The next things you are going to need are floral wire and wire cutters. If I could turn back time, I would have waited until I had more paddle wire. You'll see throughout the video that this spool of wire was a total pain. Don't be impatient like me and wait until you have paddle wire. If you want a bow on your wreath, you're going to need some ribbon. Wire ribbon is the easiest to work with and highly recommended for beginners. If you're interested in a detailed look at making a bow like the one I used today, I'll link my bow making video for you in the description and in a card somewhere on the screen. Lastly, you'll want to grab any embellishments that you're going to add to your wreath, like a bell or an ornament, or like these moss-covered balls that I'm using today. Okay, let's make a wreath. The first thing that you're going to do is take your wire and hook it around the top. And then you're going to wrap it around the top center of the wreath about 3 or 4 times until it is really secure. This will be like the anchor for all of your greenery. Pull the wire tight at the top and you're ready to grab some greenery. Next, you're going to cut off a couple of small pieces from each of your greenery types and make a bundle. I chose 2 pieces of the cedar with berries and a sprig of eucalyptus. You want to gather the bundle together, making sure that this is proportional to the size of your wreath, because if you make the bundles too large, you'll lose the center of your wreath and there will be no hole in the middle. Okay, we've got that first bundle and we are ready to start adding some fluff to this wreath. So you're going to take your little bunch and make sure that it is arranged how you like it. And you're going to place this at the top of your wreath and wrap your wire around it a good 3 or 4 times very tightly. And then you can kind of adjust it once you've done that. Basically, you will just repeat this process around the wreath, slightly overlapping the bundles, making sure that you don't have a big glob of eucalyptus or other greenery, and that everything looks naturally spaced. When you make it back around your wreath, you'll want to make that very last bunch smaller than the others to fill in that space appropriately. After that, you can make any small adjustments that are needed for the overall look of the greenery on your wreath before adding any other accessories. If you made a bow, you'll want to attach that at this time. Be sure to check out my bow tutorial for the full explanation on that. I just used a small piece of wire and hooked it on the back of my ribbon and attached it to the lower right portion of my wreath, and then twisting that wire around the back of the form really tight. Once it's secure, it's really easy with a wire ribbon to fluff the tails and kind of turn them how you want them, and to just make the bow look perfect. So the moss balls that I used had a bit of a learning curve. I started with 2 of these smaller moss balls and some wooden skewers that were really pointy on the end, and my thought was to make a hole with those and tie some twine all the way through. That didn't happen. I had trouble getting the twine to go all the way through, so I ended up just using the skewer to push it down as far as it could go, and then I hit it with some hot glue when the entire wreath was finished, just around the top so that they wouldn't fall off. I tied the moss balls with twine onto the bottom of the wreath near the bow. For the finishing touch, I took those tiny pine cones and a little piece of wire and twisted it around one of the pine cones. And then I stuck these all on the right side of my wreath. I didn't put any on the left at all. So I fixed them where there were some coming down under the bow and around, and some coming from the top, draping down towards the bow, just kind of framing those embellishments. The final fluffing and adjusting should happen after you're able to hang your wreath up to see where everything actually falls. I stuck a command hook up so that I didn't have to do my final tweaks outside in the cold, but you could use a coat rack or a doorknob to do this step as well. And that's it, you guys. I hope that you found this video inspiring and helpful in making a wreath. I will say this is the first time I've ever made a wreath, and I'm so happy with the way it turned out. Please leave me a comment. Let me know if you tried this tutorial and how it worked out for you. Like this video, share it with your friends, and I'll see you next time. Guys, I have so many fun things planned for Christmas. Please subscribe so we can hang out together this season.